Welcome back to the Black GPT. Today we're unscrolling Emmanuel Bowen's 1747 map of Negroland in Guinea, the one with Judah or Weda etched on the so-called slave coast. We'll cover 6 stops on this cartographic field trip. Where the Judah equals Judah claim began, how a pronunciation mashup birthed the confusion, who really lived in that coastal strip, why the claim clashes with the actual biblical timeline, why European mapmakers sprinkled biblical labels over Africa, and the hazards of building theology from Google Images. So with that being said, let's get started. Origins of the claim. Map meets meme. The story surfaces in the mid-2010s when high-resolution scans of Emmanuel Bowen's 1747 map hits Reddit, Pinterest, and Hebrew Israelite forums. Screenshots with red circles around Judah quickly went viral. Appeal of the narrative. For groups seeking ancestral links between the Atlantic slave trade and ancient Israel, a single label felt like a cartographic smoking gun. Earlier echoes. Portuguese traders had long written Ajuda on shipping logs. 17th century Dutch logs show Weda. French Jesuit notes read Juda. Each variant quietly fed the Judah rumor mill. The residents called their port Weda in the Fan Gabi language. European ears, European pens. So in English, it was pronounced Weda, in Dutch, Weda, in French, Juda, or Judah. In Portuguese, it's Ajuda, false cognate. None of these sound like Hebrew Yehuda. It's a telephone game typo amplified across maritime ledgers and, eventually, Bowen's copperplate. Meet the Kingdom of Weda, which existed between the years of 1580 and 1727. Now, this was a coastal monarchy stretching barely 10 miles wide, ruled from the inland capital Seville. Its people were primarily Fan and Ajak speakers, who practiced voodoo, worshipping the serpent deity Dan, and the mother goddess Mawu, not Yahweh. Before Dahomey conquered it, Weda exported well over 1 million captives to the Americas, making it a tragic but documented node of the Atlantic trade. Archaeologists find cowrie shell currency pits, terracotta voodoo shrines, and royal compounds built on packed earth. No Hebrew ostraca, menorahs, or 4-room houses, evidence starkly different from the Iron Age Judahite sites. Why the biblical account doesn't match. Biblical Judah sits in the southern Levant. Think Jerusalem, Hebron, Judean hills. That's 31,000 miles northeast of Weda. Now get this. Judah fell to Babylon in 586 BCE. Weda? Well, it emerged around 1600 CE. Now that's a 2,200-year gap. Judahites spoke ancient Hebrew, left Yahwistic seals, and followed a temple-centric cult. Weda's court spoke B dialects, used voodoo iconography, and never sacrificed at Jerusalem. The bottom line? If Weda was transplanted Judah, we'll expect Hebrew loanwords in Fan, Judean pottery in Benin, and an Exodus-style backstory in local oral tradition. But none exist. Why cartographers borrowed biblical names. Renaissance and Enlightenment mapmakers filled blank spaces with familiar biblical lore. Eden, Ophir, and the kingdom of Prester John show up all over Africa maps. Exotic but scripturally resonant labels sold prints to clergy, nobles, and merchants eager for holy geography. Once a label like Judah appeared on one influential plate, other engravers copied it verbatim, much like how the mythical mountains of Kong hopscotch across atlases for almost a century after being debunked. A JPEG does not equal peer review. A cropped PNG shuttled around Facebook lacks footnotes, excavation logs, and linguistic context. Confirmation bias. If you already want to find biblical Hebrews in West Africa, Judah looks like destiny. If you slow down, it's a phonetic coincidence. Now here's a due diligence checklist. Check the cartographer and date. 1747 does not equal the Iron Age. Cross-read ethnographies. What do local oral traditions say? Consult archaeology. Pottery shards don't lie. Faith with receipts. Belief systems thrive on robust evidence, not screenshots. Well, I do hope that this clears some things up with actual facts that you can use a variety of tools out here to verify within minutes. Thank you again for tuning in to the Black GPT, and I'll see you again next time.